tell you, Trails Through Daybreak really is one of the rare cases where, for some reason, the art, like the art style, does not do characters justice, like, at all. You look at the art styles, I remember a lot of people saw Van, and we were all sitting there like, this is our new protagonist? Like, this picture did not help. And then you're looking at Anya's here, and for some reason, I don't know, it feels like there's something off with her face to me. Like, Fairy's fine, but then there's something off with Rizette's face to me. And like, I don't know. I like the Cold Steel art.
Without that geological survey conducted by Valus, nobody would have ever known my ancestral lands were home to such rich mineral deposits. It was me who made the call to bring them in. Best decision I ever made. Now I'm the owner of an enormous mine. Nice thing about working with Valus folks is that they take you to results too. Never hurts having like-minded friends who know how to go hard. I'm glad I decided to visit Tharbad. This hookah's got a surprisingly addictive flavor. But how cheap the stuff is it?
We can always count on Nighttime to pick business up and land us some lovers of astronomical bets. But even by those standards, our customers have been unusually eager these last couple of days. If our sponsors caught a wind of the size of some of these bets, they'd be floored, and they hardly what the fuck? And they're hardly the reserve sort themselves. But that's just another side of this little desert oasis we call home. You know, playing through Trails Through Daybreak has reminded me that when I played Trails, it got me more into wanting DLCs and having different outfits for characters, but actually it just clicked into my head. While I would have liked to have the DLC outfits for this game,
understood.
Everyone has it. Van, why are you staring on us like that? Seeing everyone in their own, like, outfit is good, because in Trails of Cold Steel, yeah, everyone had a different outfit in Cold Steel 2, so you didn't really need DLC for that. But in Cold Steel 1, everyone was stuck to their school uniforms. Even kind of the same for 3. And then we had plenty of, like, no one really changed their clothes in 4. And then even for Trails into Rivery, no one's already changing their clothes, but they have a whole shit ton of costumes in there. And I know Trails Through Daybreak 2 is going to have the DLC outfits from this one, but there still might be some DLC outfits in 2 that I might want for other characters. I don't know. It's nice to have the characters looking spiffy the way that you want them to. You. Suspicious.
Can we talk?
I see. So you guys want to know about that green-haired bracer? Yes, I remember him. Quite clearly, as a matter of fact. We don't see many customers like him.
Tell us more!
He came around here about an hour ago, while out on patrol. But there was something about him that looked a little odd. He was watching the other patrons for some reason, as if trying to size them up or some such. I think he might have been investigating something. Is that what brings you here?
Yeah, something like that. You happen to see if this bracer talked to anyone?
Let me think. Ah, yes. I remember him trying to strike up a conversation with one man who was playing alone. The police were also making their rounds at the time. When he noticed them approaching, he was rather quick to depart.
Still trying to avoid getting spotted by the cops. For someone acting so brazen, this guy's a real chicken shit. I'm a little concerned about him staring at the other visitors like that.
Indeed. The more that we talk, the more hindsight makes me feel something was amiss with him. In any case, I'm afraid that is all I can share about the bracer. I can only guess what you would want with him. But regardless, I wish you all luck.
Well, thanks for your time, and for the hot tip, too. Okay, folks, let's see if anyone else has caught wind of our little sneak. As you wish.
I had the pleasure of playing against none other than Mr. Gotti himself a little while ago. I have to say, I find his views on entertainment and how to stimulate audiences to be very fascinating. I completely agree with him that nothing spices up a scene like a big surprise. All the more reason to get excited for whatever that man has in store, if you ask me. When you work as hard as a dealer, you learn that nothing gets a player worked up like a little zestiness they can't even see coming. There's no greater honor in this line of work than being able to deliver a good surprise to your players that they will never forget. Sus.
Now that some now that some of our preparations for the festival are complete, I figured it's been long enough. I'll stop by and play a few rounds. That dealer wasn't here the last time I came, but let me tell you, I like the cut of his jib. He gets what it means to entertain people. He's good at throwing in big surprises to his routine. Hell, he's inspired me to throw a little something extra into the parade. The only question is, what? If there's one thing people crave, it's always a good shock to the system. Something stimulating. If you ask me, nothing gets the job done faster than a little F&V. Fucking in violence, you know? But I have to admit, if there's anything else out there that can prove just as stimulating, it's some good old-fashioned gambling.
If you're looking for Barmati, he went over to the hotel. He said he was going to practice elsewhere. He wasn't here for very long, but it was an honor to get him to host at my bar. I learned a lot from watching him. I can't help but admire his drive to hone his craft. Not everyone will move from place to place as they practiced. Kudos to him, I say.
Come on!
It's been a while since Director Gotti paid us a little visit. Believe it or not, he's actually a fairly decent gambler. In case you couldn't tell from his films, that man's desires are bottomless. With a mind like that, gambling makes him play bold. But I guess without that sort of attitude, he wouldn't be able to make the kinds of movies that he does. We've always attracted a lot of Calvadarian... Oh, what? And foreign nobles. One guy made his fortune from dealing with Elysium, for example. But lately, we've been seeing a lot of newly rich Calvadarians, plus people with close ties to Ballas, too. And as if that weren't enough, even Director Gotti himself from Vegas Film often comes here to play. He stopped visiting for a little while to work on the film festival, but was able to stop by today now that some of the work is behind him. What is that? Oh. Alright. Where does this go?
This is the wrong way.
No reason to go this way.
Who are you?
Look around all you like.
Where's your clothes,
Peace
man?
out.
I'm getting a lot of people eating dinner in my stall, which feels great. Nothing's as tasty as a good bite to eat outside during a festival, especially with my singing to accompany it. I'm telling you, my silky voice makes everything taste exceptionally better. It's science, I tell you. Science. Oh, hey, it's Nate and his girlfriend, who his girlfriend seems to be getting upset.
Inspector? What do you mean I have to get ready? You're coming out to Tharbad tomorrow? But why? I mean, yeah, I get it's for an investigation, but why do I have to get involved when I'm supposed to be taking time off? I understand, sir, but if you insist, I'm gonna receive additional time off later to make up for this, right? Hey, Nate, honey, you're not doing what I think you're doing, are you? Sorry, baby, duty calls. I've got work to do. So much for being serious. Wait, is he telling me the truth? You're kidding me. That's not supposed to happen on a vacation.
Yeah, she's mad.
This guy. First I catch him eyeing up the nightclub while he and I are supposed to be out on a date together. Then he just happens to get a call from work while I'm lecturing him, and then skips out on our date altogether. This couldn't be much worse of a night, even if I tried. Man, I didn't expect the inspector to show up all the way out here. I'm supposed to be off duty for crying out loud. And on a date! Can't a guy get some precious downtime?
Can we talk?
You say you're looking for a green-haired bracer? We saw a guy like that. He came up and talked to us earlier today, as a matter of fact.
No kidding. I was just trying my luck and asking. Didn't expect you to have actually seen the guy.
Yeah, well, congrats. Now, will you guys scram? We're in the middle of a date here.
Oh, come on. What's a little favor between friends, eh? Just tell us what you know about the nerd and we'll get right on out of your hair. Believe me, last thing any of us want is to interrupt your little tryst right as it was getting good.
You punks have a way of pushing my buttons. Fine, we'll talk. Long story short, we were talking to your green-haired bracer just a bit ago. He asked if we were having trouble with anything and offered to help.
Just out of the blue like that? Interesting. And then what?
Nothing, really. He cut things short and they took off for somewhere. Looking back on it, that wasn't really, I don't know, bracer-like of him to do. Babe, don't you remember? He ran away after you said there was nothing to worry about because you're a cop. Maybe it was just me, but it felt like he got really tense as soon as you mentioned that. Oh yeah, I guess he did, didn't he? The rest of the story is completely unremarkable. However, the fact that he was concerned about police attention certainly stands out.
Feels like we're starting to close in on the guy. Thanks for filling us in. Sorry to eat up so much of your time. Go on and enjoy the rest of your Sprigganless date.
It was Sprigganless until you idiots showed up. I don't know what you all are investigating this time, but you better not cause trouble for the police. Got it?
Alright, think we've talked to enough folks that we can paint a decent picture of what's going on. Let's find someplace quiet to talk and see what we've come up with.
In that case, might I suggest that area over there?
Now that we're all settled, let's go over what we know. First, this green-haired bracer's shown some weird behavior for a guy in his line of work. He's over weary of competition, even for a bracer, and he was sizing up customers at the casino. Which is to say, that's no bracer act. He's rolling like a petty thief.
Which would make sense if his bracer appearance is simply a disguise. This is starting to sound a lot like that man impersonating a policeman earlier today.
Yep, and just like then, going around impersonating a bracer is not the kind of heat most people want to risk. Now, this smells like a case of greed getting the better of a guy while he's working towards something else.
Well, yeah, that Officer Camellia was one of the Devancy brothers that was wanted by the police, right? Could the bracer be the older brother?
Whatever it all is, our main problem right now is that the eyewitness reports have come from stuff that just took place. For a guy who seems to be wandering around looking for suckers to rob, he doesn't exactly have a whole lot to show for it.
Which could mean that since he already successfully robbed someone after getting in their car, he could be thinking of trying that again.
Exactly. That's my hunch.
Is there any way we can put a stop to him before he targets anyone else? Actually, I may have a suggestion toward that end. If we assume that the perpetrator is going to target the driver of a car with a flat tire, as he did before, then why don't I conduct a wide area search for potential car targets among the ones driving into Tharbad this evening?
Damn, you can do that? Well, that'd save us a lot of trouble.
Indeed I can. It's a form of shard-based information analysis. Well then, I shall initiate the search, starting now. Search complete. Oh, what do we have here? As it happens, there appears to be a car stranded near the entrance to the city.
Bingo! If this guy's gonna strike again, odds are good that that's our mark. Yeah, let's keep an eye on that car signal while we stake out this so-called bracer. See if he finally shows himself. With how close that car is, it should only take a few minutes for it to pull into town. We'll go to the parking lot and wait there.
Sounds good to me.
Several minutes later.
Man, I don't know how we would have made it if it weren't for you. Seriously, thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. I was hardly I could help at all, really. I only did a quick fix, though. You really should take all the reliable here into the mechanic later and have it looked at by the professional.
Will do. Thanks again for everything. But isn't there something we can do to repay you? I feel bad not doing more.
Don't worry, all in a day's work for the bracer. Your thanks is its own reward.
Oh, is it, huh? Sure helps when you can nick a reward of your choice to boot.
What the?
Gotcha, pal. You aren't going anywhere. What do you think you're doing? Sorry to scare you folks. We're with Arkwright Solutions. We've been on the trail of this guy for reasons that'll become clear in a moment.
Why? He's a bracer. What could he have possibly done wrong? Get your hands out of there. That's...
And there it is, a wallet. Does this happen to belong to you guys?
What? That's mine! I had it stashed inside my bag. Are you telling me this bracer stole it?
That's exactly that. And it's just the start. Just so you know. Yeah, just so you all don't get any wrong ideas about bracers, you should know this guy's a fraud. This may sound like a strange question to ask, but did you get a flat tire on your way to town tonight?
Yeah, we did, actually.
I figured it was because it was such a long drive. Luckily, this bracer happened to come across us and offer to help. So that's the problem. It was very likely he is the one who punctured your tire. He seems to have this method where he bursts a tire and then pretends to be passing by before offering to repair it. He then hitches a ride back to town and steals whatever he finds. Isn't that right? If I got some part of it wrong, now's the time to correct me.
Ugh. Palladios. So he was pretending to be a bracer all along so he could rob me?
I didn't sense anything wrong at all. If you guys hadn't shown up when you did, we could have been completely clueless.
And whose fault is that, huh? That's what you get for trusting someone just because they say they're a bracer, you morons! So what if I maybe took things too far this time because they were so easy to sucker? Who cares? Go ahead and turn me in. At the end of the day, our objective is still within reach.
So there is more going on. What are you planning?
Who can say? Once we get our hands on that, they'll be able to post bail for me, no problem. It'd be a drop in the bucket. Take me to the braces or police or whatever. See what I care. Looks like we got a sassy one on our hands. I think this guy needs to be taught a lesson he won't be forgetting. Do your worst, dirtbag, I dare you.
Put it in the park, kid. There's no need for us to rake him over the coals.
We'll turn him into the guild, and that'll be his problem.
That way they'll owe us a favor.
In that case, I shall contact the Bracer Guild. Although, before I do so, I must say, Mr. Arkwright, this has been a rather impressive exercise. It's been a true honor and a pleasure to finally see for myself how a renowned Spriggan goes about his business.
I don't need to be buttered up, thanks. But just bring him up already so we can get on with the rest of our night.
As you wish. Upon receiving Rizette's call, a Bracer team rushed to the scene, taking the Emerald Hair imposter into custody themselves. As for the tourists, they were subsequently brought to both the guild house and police to testify about what took place. Similarly, Van and the others also visited the Bracer Guild to offer their own report on the matter. I can't believe the Bracer we were all looking for turned out to be a fake. I'm glad you all found him as quickly as you did. He could have caused real problems for us if he had stayed on the loose. On behalf of the guild, you have our sincere thanks. Well, we really appreciate it.
Nah, don't mention it. Our curiosity got the better of us, that's all. Though some might say that you guys owe us one regardless.
Oh, no question. We're more than willing to compensate you for everything you've done, including paying you for your time. I'm just surprised that Bracer turned out to be who he was. And another one of those thieving brothers are wanted back in Edith. That's crazy.
We've already managed to nab both of them.
Hopefully, it means there'll be a little less crime around here. Agreed. The film festival probably needs heightened security in light of all this. Anyway, thanks again for taking care of all that, everyone. If anything comes up tomorrow, we'd appreciate your help then, too.
All in a day's work.
Wait, we're not gonna... Wait, hey, guys. There's a dude was still missing his wallet. Why did that have anything to do with chaos? That guy that we started the quest with, he didn't get his wallet back. I guess we're just not giving that poor guy his wallet back. Like, at all. I officially dropped an amateur film off at Vegas Film. Because they're so busy getting ready for the festival, though, they said they wouldn't be able to check it out right away. I get that we came at a busy time and all, but I hope it doesn't take too long. I really want to know what they think.
It sounds like the selection process is going to take time. Anyway, so we might as well look around and check out stuff. After all, the film festival's attracted lots of actors and production staff. We spent a lot to travel out here, so we need to make the most of it and enjoy ourselves too. Maybe I'll ask for some autographs. I just caught my first glimpse of President Dillon in the flesh, and, you know, he's not quite what I imagined him to be. I figured as the head of an up-and-coming film studio, he'd be more flexible and a daring leader, but I guess not. I guess Vegas Film owes its rapid rise to Salvatore Gotti and his talent behind the camera more than anything else. Okay. Right, where are Nina and Judah staying again? Oh, it's that guy again. You must be Mr. Arkwright and Company. Miss Lanster and Miss Fenway are waiting for you by the pool. The clerk there already knows you're coming. You're free to enter whenever you're ready.
Good to hear, thanks.
That's one way to say hello. At least his customer service is impeccable. I'd expect nothing less from a 6-star facility. I don't get it. Why would they be at the pool when it's nighttime?
It's a nighttime pool. You get to drink alcohol and all that good shit there. But a little kid like you can't really appreciate grown-up stuff like that yet.
I am not. If you think I can't handle alcohol, I'll prove you... Fairy, no. Not until you're older. And Aaron, don't go putting any ideas in her head.
Got it.
I see Agnes is rather mature for her age.
You could say that. She definitely is forceful when she needs to be.
Unfortunately, considering your family governors near Elysium's border, I think conflict is inevitable. Not only does my father have a bone to pick, but the people in Valis see quite a lot within our territory. Maybe so, but that doesn't preclude us from being friendly, does it? I, for one, don't want to have a quarrel with you. What am I saying? With the royal family in Valis at play, perhaps I'm naive for thinking we can be above the fray. No, you're right. I think it would be good if we found a way to get closer and make it harder for our families to butt heads. Though it would mean that if things took a bad turn between us, we'd stand to lose something. Good point. Then in a few years down the line, we could get into business. Or become partners in some other venture. We'll force our father's hands that way. Surely once they recognize it as a fact, things can't get any worse between our families.
Okay.
Now that's an idea. I hadn't thought about that. There's also, we should discuss this further. I'm really intrigued by the idea of us going into business together. I should have known she wouldn't quite pick up on it. Maybe we aren't quite there yet.
Oh, do you have a little crush, little man?
Blast it all, I need to calm my father down quickly. If people see our families fighting at the film festival, our reputation will take a hit. He's actually not that hard to reason with. Ultimately, it's our future that's most important, not what's immediately in front of us. I've had the pleasure of meeting Mundant before at certain events in the Principality. He really is quite kind and intelligent, even if he sometimes shows rather coitus? What? Coitus? Hootish? I don't know. It would certainly be nice if our generation got along better.
If you're looking for the pool, you'll find it past the door at the far end to the right. We offer a wide variety of services there as well, so please, take all the time you'd like. Be aware, however, some of our guests of highest stature are there as well, so I must ask you all to exercise discretion.
Welcome, Mr. Arkwright, sir. If you're looking for Miss Lanster and Miss Fenley, you'll find them at the swimming pool. You may wish to have a word with them as you relax together. I got a report earlier from our office in the Cultural District of water drying up in that area. We managed to resolve the issue, thankfully, but it's embarrassing that it took us that long to realize what was going on. We've had our hands so full expanding the entertainment district infrastructure that I suppose we got lax about managing the water elsewhere. There are still things left to set up in the cultural district. I want our resources to be more distributed, at least.
There's something fulfilling about serving some of the richer guests from the Central East, once you get used to what they order. They have their own particular demands you have to stay on top of, like fruits from there that they enjoy having. It's an interesting challenge, grasping what they want and then trying to serve them something that meets those unique expectations. It's a great opportunity to flex my muscles as a bartender, that's for sure. There's probably no better place to work than here.
We just know those two are just gonna argue, so you know what? We're just not even gonna bother. Nina is so awesome. It's amazing how hard she can get into her roles. I played a supporting role with her in The Wolves Requiem. I'm telling you, it was like her character, Michelle, was really alive and standing right next to me the entire time. You probably know, but Nina plays Sheena Dirk in the upcoming movie Gloria. She made a real stir in the film industry, being able to play such a prominent white figure so naturally, despite being half Eastern. If she can pull off something as tricky as that, who knows how much potential she has. Alright, you know what, at this point I really got a question. I don't think it has anything to do with the translation team, because, I don't know, there's always been like territorial war and problems in Trails, but it's like, why do I feel like when I started seeing a lot of politics shit go out of crazy or get on Twitter, is the moment I see that shit appear a lot in my games. Welcome! Please make yourselves at home and enjoy the services we offer during the day and throughout the night. In case you're not aware, this hotel was made possible by several investors, particularly Elysium and the Bank of Edith. Such investors expect only the absolute best in service, which we're proud to provide around the clock. Time is no object. We may be famous for our nighttime swimming, but our offerings extend well beyond that. We hope you make the most of them.
Alrighty.
Okay.
'Cause every night I will save your life.